Hey, good morning. Talking today about four keys to a lasting marriage, or four keys to a great marriage. Four keys with that. So, I guess first off, I don't see a lot out there about how to have a great lasting marriage these days. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I don't see a whole lot. I don't see a lot from guys talking about it either. So anyhow, just thought I'd have a unique perspective on it, and I'm blessed to have 19 years of a great marriage and great wife. So thought I'd pass some of these on. In full disclosure, I did not know these things before I got married. We did have a great premarital class. I did learn some of this stuff, but a lot of it I didn't. I'm thankfully blessed that I walked into this, and a lot of these were in place. So anyhow, this is more retrospective than anything else. Our culture tends to focus a lot on just ourselves and what we can get out of things, and bad people, and a lot of blame shifting. And this isn't that. This is trying to flip the script, kind of from the happiness culture that we seem to be into, more of like, hey, what are some practical things I can look for, character traits that I can try to be more of as a person, and then I can look for in a person too. So this is more that kind of focus on how to have a great lasting marriage. Then last up, as I'm just kind of thinking as a preface here too, I remember looking into these things when I got serious about trying to find a spouse, and just it took a lot of hard work and thinking. I mean, our culture tends to promote how good looking are they, how attractive are they to us, or what hobbies you have in common or something. And really, those are nice, but from what I see, those aren't the keys. So this is also not that either. So anyhow, I put it down into kind of like the previous video. I have this into four L's. Keys, four L's. They're keys to having a great or lasting marriage. So without further ado, first L is loyalty. Key. I think that just loyalty and commitment in general is not there as much these days, and just the idea that, like, hey, I'm making a lasting commitment for life, and a part of that's cultural, and divorce laws have made it too easy in my opinion and whatnot. But just being loyal. Melanie and I, from the beginning, committed. Hey, divorce is not an option. We're gonna work through stuff. This is a lifelong thing for us. I think just going in and being loyal and committed. So first L is loyalty. Matthew 19:4-6 says, what therefore God has joined together, let us not separate. Talking about that, and just this is something for life. And just knowing that tough times are going to come up. There's going to be times where there's going to be conflict. There's going to be disagreements. Life's just hard sometimes. We had a miscarriage at one point. We've had family troubles. Things are going to happen. Are we going to stay committed and loyal no matter what? And I think that's a really good quality we saw in a couple of generations ago. I think the greatest generation was very good at that. They stayed loyal and committed, and that's a really good quality I think we can take from that generation. First one, loyalty, staying committed, saying that marriage is for life, and that this divorce is just not an option. Number two, I put under L, longing for, seeking God, just really longing for God in general and being pointed in that direction. And so looking at, number one, reading the Bible and saying, how can I align my life up to looking more like that, the qualities and traits and learnings from the Bible, not reading it as, how can I have the Bible fit my ideas or what I've picked up from my family or the culture or what I think is right, but really trying to seek God and to say, hey, how can I continue to work towards those kind of character traits, those kind of values, and seek Him. So through the Bible, through church, having good support system in place, people who are also trying to follow God and do it well. Through a church, through prayer and really being open, spending time with God to just trust the prayers, trusting that He's going to speak and be with us, and those things I think are key. We've had some small groups and through our churches that we've had support and continue to have support and friendships from that have been key with that. So really just longing for God and seeking him in those ways. I think being pointed in that direction has been key. We're on the same value system. And 1 Chronicles 16:11 says, "Look to the Lord and his strength and seek his face always looking to him, always pointing in his direction." So longing for him. Number 3, third L, is to look in the mirror. And really the tendency, human tendency, just tends to be something comes up, then emotion comes up around that, and it's the blaming and the accusing, and that just doesn't work. It's not going to get you anywhere, and hasn't gotten me anywhere. And it's really about looking at myself and saying, in the mirror, and saying, how am I doing? Am I calmly, clearly expressing my desires? Am I leading well and creating a vision for where we're trying to go with this? Am I listening well and responding kindly? Am I being the man ultimately that I want to be? Am I being the husband that I want to be? Examining my life, and that takes some time and some hard looks. And a simple place to start is just looking at communication percentages. We probably have, many of us have heard, but the words, tone, posture, right? Our words are only 7%, but really looking at what were my words there in that situation. What's my tone, which is a big part of it too. How did I say it, right? And reflecting back on how I'm saying things. And then my posture is a big part of that too. How's my posture? What's my face like? And really thinking back on those things. Sometimes I've got to stop if we're having a conversation or a disagreement. Like, how was I? How did I say that? And just to think. And I think the percentages are: words matter about 7%, and tone about 38%, and then I think the body language is 55%. Is kind of how that adds up based on some research by Dr. Albert Moravian. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but anyhow, so just really examining myself and seeing how I do with those things. Scripture behind that, 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves. So always testing myself, my commitment to Christ, to God, and just looking at myself with that. Fourth L, simply put, like mine, or like this, if you will. So basically, looking for a spouse who's like the first 3. Finding someone who's also loyal and committed for life. And then, number 2, longing for God, and 3, looking in the mirror themselves. Those 3 qualities just wrap up a lot. So really looking for a spouse that is those 3 before we jump into getting married. Because if they're not in it for life, all we can control is ourselves. We can't control the other person, but we get that choice. I'd encourage, if someone's on the front end looking to get into marriage, ask those hard questions now. This is the time. That's the time to ask them. Does a person look at marriage as being something for life? It's not an option. Are they committed to that? Are they longing and seeking after the Lord? Bible believing type of stuff, and prayer, and believing in support and openness. And number 3, are they show humility and a willingness to self-reflect and to consider when they've been right or been wrong? Those are huge things. So I'd say look for someone who is those 3 things too. For keys there. So in summary, 4 L's, being loyal, longing for God, looking in the mirror, and then like mine or like that. So those are 4 L's that have served me well throughout the years, and I think served our marriage as we've gone on. So I think, and especially number 1, really that the loyalty part being so key and committed for life, a quality we definitely need. So anyhow, those are keys for me. Hope these are a blessing to you. If you like this, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and have a great day. Thanks.